Davis, do you feel that the outcome today was more a result of something that Texas gave you that maybe you weren't anticipating, or execution on your guys' end?
All execution by us. I didn't do enough. I shot us in the foot too many times, and we didn't do enough offensively to, and it was on us. They're a good football team. They played well today, but we shot ourselves in the foot and let them win that football game. And I think we do some things differently. I do some things differently, and that's a closer game in the fourth quarter. And then it's whoever's makes the most plays in the fourth quarter, and those are the type of games that we want to be in. And we knew it was going to be a tight game, and then we let them off too easy. So it's a really crappy feeling, because we knew that I know that this room, this offense, this team has what it takes to win that football game, and we didn't do it. So just a lot of reflection, a lot of things we need to work on. A lot of things I need to work on, and I'm confident, though, that we're gonna do those things. We're gonna face adversity right in the face. I mean, we haven't lost, a regular season game here in a while, so I think everyone is taking it super seriously. The only people that are gonna come back into Shem on Monday are the guys who are gonna want to put the work in to be better, and are gonna know that we have what it takes and have full confidence in this team to make it happen, because we're better than what we showed today. And the only way to prove that is to go do it next Saturday, because that game next Saturday is coming whether we like it or not. So I know that the guys in the room and all of us, we're going to be prepared to go out there and flip the script.
For both of you, what happened on the second interception? Colston, he did not turn on the route.
Yeah, that's just on me. Just got to get my head around, cross face. Yeah, totally on me. Just can't have it, like he was saying. But just gonna come back tomorrow, really. Watch the tape, see what we did wrong. A lot, like you said, shot ourselves in the foot a lot. Just didn't execute. Just got to go, dissect the film, see what we could do right, and then, we got to keep this train rolling.
Colston did a lot of great things today, so he's a guy I trust, and he takes pride in what he does, and so I'm not worried about him.
Yeah, same goes for this. Not worried at all.
Hey, Colston, sort of piggybacking on what Dave said on how this team will respond.
Yeah.
Having lost a game for a while, how do you think this team will respond?
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of tough-minded individuals, guys that don't like to lose at all. Obviously, no one likes to, but we got a group of guys that we despise it. So, I think it's you always learn from these losses. Like I said, we're gonna watch a lot of tape, and see what we got to figure out. But I think we're gonna respond in a good manner, and we're gonna come into the building tomorrow fired up, ready to be perfect.
We'll take a minute to get the microphone to the back right. Reiner has a question.
Yeah, Colston, Davis. How much did your formula is usually built on getting up early, kind of controlling the ball and kind of dictating the terms? How much did that change the dynamics of everything when they got up, 14-3?
Yeah, I mean, we just gotta execute. The scoreboard, it doesn't matter till it all hits zero. So I mean, I don't think that rattled us at all. But yeah, down or up at the beginning of the game, we got to go out there and take each play by play, drive by drive, and go execute. And we just didn't do that enough. Like I said, we just got to get in the playbook or get in the film room, figure out what we got to do better, and then just connect on some more things.
Second row here on the left.
For both of you, this is clearly a different team with a lot of new faces from last year. How different does it feel for you guys in the locker room and on the field, and how hard is it to maintain that standard?
I mean, there's no difficulty in maintaining the standard. I mean, we're the standard that has been set here of how we do things, how we approach each and every day, every practice, every meeting, every walkthrough. That standard hasn't changed, and so and it falls on all of us to uphold that standard in every single way. And that's something that we didn't do well enough today, and I didn't do well enough today as a quarterback. So falls on me to be better, to play better, and it sucks. because you come into this game and you know there's a lot on the line. You want to get a win, and so got to take a long, hard look in the mirror at what type of team we want to be, who we want to be. But I know from my end, adversity is I'm used to that, so I'm prepared to deal with it and take it in stride and wake up tomorrow morning with a burning passion to get better.
We'll go two more for these guys before we get Coach Warren here on the left in the second row, Bill.
Question for both of you. I mean, obviously, no loss is easy, and this was a top 10 game. But does playing in this 12-team setup where hey, we can't lose one, does that change how you look going into the rest of the season?
I don't think it really changed. A loss is a loss. Like, obviously, yeah, you got a better opportunity with a loss or two to make the playoffs, but it hits the same either way. Feel like we should have won that game. We got to go execute and win games like these. So yeah, it hurts, but like we've been saying, we just got to be better as an offense. I got to be better. Can't have turnovers. That's day one stuff. Just small details that we need to lock in. And from here on out, we got to win out. So.
Yeah, Sherrone, 80 yards rushing. Obviously, it put a lot of pressure on your offensive attack. Can you kind of pinpoint? I know you haven't seen the film, but what went wrong in terms of your running game?
Yeah, I think we just have to watch the film and evaluate where we're at. I thought there was some positive runs in there, and when you get behind, you start to throw the ball a little bit more. So we just got to do a better job executing the fundamental little details in all phases on offense, and we'll get better.
You guys had a lot go wrong on both sides of the ball. What concerns you most coming out of this game?
For us, it's a loss. You haven't had one of these in a long time, so you definitely feel it. Our kids feel it. They feel it more than anybody. So definitely feel bad for them and how they feel, but we know on all sides of the ball, all three phases, we got a lot to work on. We just got to get better at the fine details and can have penalties and turnovers. So those are things right now we got to keep to work on.
Sherrone, obviously the offense struggled. Do you have to look at all sorts of other options, whether it's running backs, receivers, quarterback, offensive line, shuffling? Do you need to dig deeper to find some of those pieces?
Yeah, I think we're going to watch the film and figure that out. I don't want to make a knee-jerk reaction and just say something after we haven't watched the film. So watch it, evaluate it, see what we need to do to put the right people in the right places to make us successful, and that's what we're going to try to do.
Coach, it's been a long time since the team has lost a game at all,
Yep.
let alone here. I wonder if you, in preparation, thought a little bit about if that happens, how do you start dealing? What do you say to the kids who haven't experienced a loss in a couple of years? How do you use it more to the positive than the negative?
Yeah, my message to the team was that it's going to take resolve. We haven't lost here in a while. You don't like losing. We didn't lose it all last year. We lost twice the year before. So for us, it's like you don't ever want to lose. So you're never thinking about the loss. But for them and for us, I just think about them. I think about how they feel, and what are we going to do to get better? That's all we're worried about right now. Is we're going to take everything we can on all three phases to get better in every little piece. And my message to them was, we got to do it together. We can't finger point, and you find out who you are as a team when adversity strikes. And to watch our guys at the end fight, the offense fight, go down and score. They easily could have just kicked it in, and our defense do the same thing. In the second half, they only allowed a touchdown, which we don't want, but they at least fought. So that gives you some sign that there's resolve there. But now we got to put the things in peace, so in the first half it doesn't go the way it did.
You mentioned some of the things you want to fix. What's your sense on how easily correctable some of these things are? These fixes or this long-term problem?
I think the turnovers are easy to fix. The first pick was a tip pass. The second one was a communication in the route concept. Those things are, and then the fumble was, Colston will tell you just didn't tuck it away fast enough. And those are three things. If you don't have those, then you're in a different ball game. But they happened, and they did a good job capitalizing off of them. They were, and then for us on defense, it's tackling. We got to make sure we wrap up because they had 135 yards after contact. So for us, those little things, you fix those, you put you in a better position. But you can't do that against a good team.
Bill? Coach over here. Third down, 3 of 12. What were some things? I know you're probably going to say we're going to watch the film, but some things on third down that need to be executed better between both quarterbacks.
Yeah, really just reads. We got to make plays. Pass catchers got to make plays. You have some third downs and you drop one. You misrun the route. I can remember specifically off my head, there's 2 of them that we just dropped. So that ups your percentage there. So we got to make plays for the quarterback as well, and we got to keep the protection clean. And protection wasn't a big issue all night. So, but we've got to do a great job just executing as a whole offense. It can't just be one person here and there. It's got to be a whole collective effort.
Hello, Coach. Time of possession obviously was skewed heavily towards Texas early in this game. Mm-hmm. How much do you think that hurt the defense, particularly in the first half?
Yeah, I think they were on the field a lot, and that was my message to them. And to watch them in the second half, and as the time of possession crept a little closer to us, they weren't as successful on offense. So they had those long drives, but when you go 3 and out and you put a good offense on the field with a great quarterback and good offensive line, that's what's going to happen. So for us, we've got to possess the ball. We've got to do a better job with our style of play on offense and making sure we don't let that happen.
In the back right, Reiner.
Yeah, along those lines, obviously they seem to use the kind of formula that you guys have used to win a lot of games. Controlling the clock, also establishing the run pretty early, being able to do that. What was that like watching, that doing? Did you feel at times that the game was possibly slipping away a little bit from, your grasp?
No, at halftime I asked the team if they thought it was over, and everybody was a resounding no. So, no, I never thought that the game was just slipping away. For us, we're going to fight till the end, regardless of what the score is. And I felt like our guys fought at the end. And for us, it was just we got to get better at those little things.
All right. Yep. Great.
Right here, Coach. Saw Fresno run from tempo last week. Saw that from Texas again this week. How much is tempo being a challenge for your defense? And from an offensive perspective, is that something that you would consider running yourself?
Well, the tempo wasn't really the issue. It was more the play action passes and guys just the third down conversions were the big thing because the tempos weren't creating explosive plays. It was the little things of communications that we did. So we're not worried about the trying to change the offense because a team ran tempo. The tempo pieces weren't an issue. Even last week they weren't an issue. It was us just executing our little details.
All right, Rekha.
Over here. Quinn Ewers in the passing attack were particularly effective at chunk plays and especially on third down. What about the defense that you guys were running allowed that, and how can you adjust that in the future?
Yeah, I think he just did a good job executing. He stepped up in the pocket a lot when our rushes went high, and he did a good job maneuvering in the pocket on third downs, and that's what really kept drives alive. The play-action pass game was working. They did a good job with their over routes, and we just got to be better at communicating and making sure that we're doing that. We mixed man and zone, so it wasn't we're in man or we're in zone or we're this. So we just got to do a better job of matching all the routes and communicating. And really, it's all you look back and the missed assignments. That's what hurt us. And then the second half, those things were corrected, and they have one explosive play, and that's the reverse. So they did a really good job of adjusting, and now we got to do the same thing on offense.
Got time for a few more questions. We'll start in the middle there.
How you doing, Coach? Brandon Carr from WDIV. We saw the quarterbacks struggling back-to-back weeks. Was there any thought of putting Jaden Davis in the game today?
No. The 2 picks, like I said, it's a whole team effort. Interception not always just on the quarterback. It's got to be a whole collective effort on things. So he did a good job of putting the ball where it needed to be. The one throw he had on the seam was probably his worst throw, where the guy was open. But besides that, the 2 picks that happened because the one was tipped in the receiver's hands, and the other one we didn't run the right route. So in that case, he did a good job managing it. So we got to do a better job as pass catchers too.
Heather?
This is obviously a new team from the national championship with a lot of new faces, including yourself and coach. Did you expect this many growing pains this season?
Yeah, I never really thought about the growing pains, more so of just what could we do to get better. We knew we were a new team. We never, try to rest on our laurels if we won the national championship last year. So for us, it was what are we going to do to get better and make this team good. So, we have these. We're at where we're at, and we're going to continue to just grow and get better.
We'll go with the last question with Angelique, and then we'll bring in a few more players.
Sherrone, it looked like they were really trying to go after Jair a little bit today. How do you think he weathered that? And Will, did he get a little dinged up on that that big tackle on the 55-yard game?
No, I think Will's fine. Will ended up playing, and Jair, they made some plays over there, but then he bounced back, especially in the second half. I was really proud of him and his efforts. So we just got to do a better job as a whole group.
Quinten, it seemed like Texas's passing attack had a lot of success. What do you think as defensive backs you guys need to improve for next week?
It's definitely open field tackling. A lot of those hidden yards came from missed tackles. So at the end of the day, you got to take care of the little things, the pillars, executing at a high level, tackling, getting guys on the ground.
Give us just a second to move the microphone, but in the very back row, to the right, Zach Shaw.
Quinten, you're one of the few players on this team that has actually been on a Michigan team that lost in the regular season. What's the biggest key to not letting this be a carryover effect, knowing there's a lot of good teams on the schedule?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, and I know a lot of guys on the team aren't used to being in this position, but it's adversity. As a man, it's manhood. How you going to respond to it? You flush it and you keep moving. It's week 2. And that's the great thing about our schedule and the opportunity that comes ahead is it's so early in the schedule that we could fix all the execution problems that we had today, and that's the real reason why we lost was execution. So we got all year to go back and fix that.
Stay on the right side in the front row, Clayton.
Quinten, a lot of third down conversions that you guys let up. I mean, how deflating was that, having some success first and second down early in the game and then letting them get a big play?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely, like we said, like we was talking about adversity, it's deflating, but you got to get off the field. And a lot of those big conversions came on checkdowns or missed opportunities due to tackling. So at the end of the day, it all goes back to execution. It's all things that we ourselves can come and fix. So it's a great opportunity to come and move forward to see what we are as the team, who we are as the team.
Get back to the back row there, Reiner.
Yeah, what was the mood in the locker room after the game, and what do you think the road call of this team is?
Well, we don't know the resolve yet, but we're going to see. I mean, at the end of the day, we lost. That's the reality of the situation is. So we're going to come back Monday. We got a team next week. We got a team after that, and then we got a team after that. It's how you respond. So a lot of guys in that locker room are high-end players that got a lot of personality, and they got a lot of eagerness to go out and fix the wrong. So the biggest thing is going out there next week, doing what you got to do. Let's handle business.
All right, edge rusher Josaiah Stewart is joining us as well. We'll come to the left side in the front. Aaron.
Quinten, you mentioned the tackling issues. What do you contribute to those? Why do you guys think you struggled doing that?
And guys in space, just getting them down. I mean, at the end of the day, we had a lot of great tackles too, but the missed tackles we did have led to big plays. So at the end of the day, it's fundamental football. It's what we learned to do day one playing football. It's just something that we got to work on and be better at.
One more in the front here, Ryan, and then we'll go to the back.
Quinten, obviously you've been around a while. Do you ever recall a team utilizing the running backs as much in the passing game like Texas did today? And what challenges did that present?
Maybe not in the passing game as well. We've had a lot of our losses have come from teams utilizing their running backs well. I think they did a great job with the offense that they came out and presented to us. It's a lot like our defense is a lot of positionless football. You got running backs that act like receivers. You got receivers that act like running backs. That's something we was prepared for. We just didn't execute well enough for it.
Back right there, Austin.
For both of you guys, you've both been in this position a bunch of times of going into another team's stadium and your fans celebrating. What was it like just to see that scene today and be on the other side of that?
It's obviously not a position we're used to being in, but a lot of people say as a man, you don't know what manhood is until you face adversity. And for a lot of those guys, I've faced that adversity before. We lost before, and we lost bad before. Just facing that adversity and being able to overcome it proves who you are as a person. So it's a humbling experience, but at the end of the day, it should drive you to have the next experience be better than this one.
Yeah, no, I agree. One loss doesn't define us. In my career, I've lost at home in big games plenty of times, and you just got to look forward to that next game and what can you do to improve on this one.
Second row, all the way to the right, Reka.
For Josaiah, you guys got some solid pressure on Quinn Ewers. He was able to evade it pretty well. How can you guys make sure you kind of finish those pressure moments a little bit better when you're facing such a talented quarterback?
I mean, just executing. A quarterback like him likes to get the ball out quick and on time. Once you disturb that rhythm he has, we're cooking with gas.
Time for a couple more. Folks have additional questions. Can't see any hands. Sorry, in the back, Reiner.
They had a couple of early long drives for both of you guys, but particularly Josaiah. What did it feel like, having to stay on the field that long, series after series as they, were going down the field? And what kind of cumulative effect did it have on, I guess, just the energy of the defense early on?
I mean, not much change. I feel like just being on the field, we're excited to be on that field. Whenever the defense has a chance, make a play and be great, we're excited for that. No matter what it is, we just keep playing.
Same spot in the room, Zach.
For both of you guys, does the expanded playoff change the reaction to a loss like this at all? And Quinten, I know you mentioned it's early in the season, but I guess how do you factor in the 12-team playoff into this result that you're talking about?
I feel like, our mindset doesn't really change. A loss is a loss. We always want to come back from that. But, our season's not over. So, one loss doesn't, kick us out the playoffs like it probably would last year. So we're just ready to get after it.
Yeah, like Jay Stu said, this new format definitely helps us a lot. But at the end of the day, we're not even thinking about the playoff right now. We're thinking about the next week. How you respond to that loss, how you respond. We're going to see.
Second row all the way to the left, Angelique.
For both of you, Quinten mentioned the execution issues. Why do you think you had those issues? And when you're in a game like that, do they start to, are they contagious? Do they start to snowball when you're trying to overcorrect maybe?
They can snowball if you don't correct it. And I think it took too long in the game for us to correct some of those issues. But, I'm sorry, what was the first part of your question again?
Why do you think you had the execution issues? Was it Texas or was it?
Nah, it was us. Just missed opportunities. At the end of the day, we're not used to those missed opportunities, but they happened, and we didn't respond the right way until it was too late.
Yeah, same thing. We have opportunities to make big plays, make tackles. We got to go out there and execute. We can't point fingers at, anybody else, put, anybody else to blame. We're the players on the field, and we got to go execute.
Okay, last couple of questions for these gentlemen in the back right again, Reiner.
Quinten, you mentioned that you thought that they came out with a good game plan, and I'm curious from Josaiah's perspective, that they were throwing a lot of, quick game stuff, screens, things that kind of using your aggressiveness against you. How did that affect, I guess, things early on, the kind of strategy they used?
We coming in this week, we knew they was going to throw a lot of screens, get it to their back, get us out in space a lot, probably tire us out, run us running to the sideline or whatnot. But like I said, it's all about execution. And on screens especially, that's all about all our efforts, and we got to be better in that aspect.